What is going on, everybody? My name is Northy, and I have to apologize straight away. This is another really late video, and it's the third last one. Like, I couldn't have done this any more poorly. However, we have got the round 22 review. Second last round, sorry. This is the second last round, meaning this is the third last video of this series. I'd love to do a recap video of the entire season, because obviously I've only been doing this since round 10. I've missed a little bit less rounds compared to how many rounds I've now caught up to. Done about 12 now, and I missed the first 10. So we're on the good side of it. However, I'd like to do this completely, fully next year for the new season, because this was a lot of fun. Being able to talk to you guys about Teamcoach and everything about it with the games. It was really entertaining this year. I think Teamcoach absolutely smashed the game. They killed it this season. And so hopefully next year we'll be able to have just as much fun. But as you can see here, this was our Star Powers team for round 22. Now you may be asking why the hell is Riley O'Brien in here? Because he did not play. I didn't realize is the answer, but probably should have realized that. Players like Brodie Grundy played quite poorly. You can see right here, only 70 points. That is not good enough for Brodie Grundy. Go to Clayton Oliver. He only had the 83 as well, with Josh Kelly being our best. Pretty disappointing in that sense. And then players like Josh Kennedy didn't perform the best. I think, yeah, David Mundy, of course, continues his hot streak after I've taken him out. And then Taron Thomas gets his average amount of points. However, Caleb Sarong smashed it. He has absolutely smashed it ever since I thought about using him. But this poor choice of team got me 468. I'm still in the top 100. I'm still there. But definitely not a good result, that especially not the one we were looking for. People like this getting ever so closer to me. I need to make sure that next week I'm checking up, making sure these players are actually playing. Because a rank 468 is not good enough with only 443 points. That's disappointing. I'd be happy with that with these two. These two are the ones I'd only be happy with getting that. So a little bit disappointing there, but we go over to top team, top 4. This was what we ended up going into top 4 with. Now, players like Bontempelli didn't do too bad. You can see he was number 4. However, I believe it was Jordan DeGoey was here last time, and he was only just under with 81. But Paddy Dangerfield comes out and has a big game. Bit annoying there, but yep, Brodie Grundy, as he was a very low-scoring ruckman this week, did quite poorly, ended up hurting us there. We go to Jack Steele, nowhere to be seen, which is crazy for Jack Steele, which I'm not used to it at all. He had 90 points, he had 30 disposals, and a very, very average game for his standards, which put him at rank 18 for the midfielders. Then we go over to Lockie Whitfield, who ended up doing, he was alright. He wasn't great, but he did enough to help out GWS. Unfortunately, only getting those 63 points, not being worth it. Players like Jack Crisp, the one we usually end up using, he played much better. Definitely some changes going to be made here. This team is not staying at all. As we check the ladder, and I saw this before, this hurt me. 868. Man, that is tough. 309 game points is really poor. We cannot lose a top 100 spot before the end of the season. We are in every single game's top 100. If we somehow manage to get one game outside the top 100, I will be pretty disappointed. However, I am confident in my abilities that we can do it. I think we can stay in there. We're only 6 ranks away. However, we can get a 400 point game this week. This could be good. But we go over to top 18. This one was really, really interesting. Players like Paddy Dangerfield, obviously best of the round. It was good to have him in there. Jack Crisp in there as well. And I believe one more Collingwood player off the top of my mind. Oh no, it's Geelong. Reece Stanley was the best ruckman and the best midfielder, if I can remember off the top of my head, was Josh Kelly. I'm pretty sure, if I go back to home, Josh Kelly was the best. But yeah, we didn't have him in there. We could have had him in Star Powers as a green, but nope, didn't have him there. But overall, no one really outperformed. I don't think anyone hit the 120s. I think Josh Kelly got 112. Paddy Dangerfield had 104. Yeah, 104. Our best backman was Jack Crisp with 93. Nothing crazy there. And then Reece Stanley also within the high 90s. Yep, 96. So a very interesting week. But players like Jack McRae did a lot better than I really thought they would. He all of a sudden pulled out so many tackles, which gave him a load of points. 103 for him. But you can see our midfield was lacking this week. Took Miller with only 69 points. That's really worrying. Really, really worrying. So some changes may have to be made in the final round. We go to the forward line. Honestly, not terrible. Some could have done better. Jack Zabel, probably the biggest highlight, could have done better. I think Heaney did a lot more than I expected as well. Players like Jake Stringer, I feel like I want to bring back into the squad, but I just don't know who I'd replace him with. Probably Heaney, because he's the most unreliable player in there. However, it is the final round, so you never know what happens. Then the back line was super interesting this week. Neither of my usual Swans players, Lloyd and Mills, both of them out. We had the other one, which was Stewart. He was out as well. Had to switch him up. So we go to our back line, and not a bad result. We ended up having a lot of the top backmen. Whitfield, who was also our top 4 backman, was our worst one, but still close to the top. Chris was our best. Short did really, really well as a replacement. Laird did pretty alright. I think he wasn't crazy, but it was a good performance. Maynard was a good backup as well as Dyson Heppel, both of them being good. Whitfield was our biggest kind of weird one. But the backline, even with all those changes, did quite well. I'm happy with how they went. Yeah, just the midfield. Midfield let me down tremendously this week. Really, really poorly. McRae was the only good player out there to really do big things for me. And then there's some performances that were just really, really tough to watch. You can see he had 30 disposals, but he didn't do anything else other than 30 disposals, and he got 3 tackles. That's what you call a disappointing performance in terms of Teamcoach standards. But with this team, we had a top 20 finish. You'd think I wouldn't be happy. Like, I sound quite disappointed. But then you see this and you're like, you played alright. You had a decent game. I don't know why you're complaining. But it's not what I'm looking for. 1420 is alright. But we're always looking for those 1500s, and only one person again this week had it. Autobot Jazz. Obviously, a lot of low-scoring games. No one really had a highlight game like a 130 game like Tom Mitchell and Callum Mills the week before. But who knows, man? Who knows? Hopefully, we can get something in this last week. If we can get a prize card, I don't know which one I'd want from now. If we can actually quickly check the prize cards here. We can tell right now we've got Shea Bolton and Jed Anderson. I'm not too sure. Probably Darcy Parish. I'm looking at this just from a quick glance. Probably Darcy Parish. Maybe even Sean Burgoyne. Honestly, Sean Burgoyne might be a good pick. We'll see who we decide in the moment. But I'm hoping we can get one of these, because if I can get Ben Cunnington for free, I'll be over the moon. However, it does not look very promising now anymore. So hopefully we can manage to pull something off in the very last week. But we go to the tips, the Teamcoach tips, and we check our results, and we managed to get 7 out of 9. A really, really surprising effort. The only surprise being the Dogs the Dogs being beat by Hawthorn, obviously, because the Dogs probably shouldn't have lost that one, but that just goes to show how frustrating Hawthorn have been to me this year. But we look at a lot of other games. We check here, Brisbane over Collingwood, we got that one right by a fair margin. Geelong over the Saints, which is pretty decent. Gold Coast getting smashed by Essendon, I expected that, and we got the right one. GWS over Richmond may have been an interesting one for many people. However, I was confident in GWS's ability, and so were they with a 39-point win. Everyone probably tipped Melbourne over Adelaide. Port Adelaide smacking Carlton like that, did not expect it. And after their long drought, which I did not realise Fremantle were going through, Fremantle managed to finally get a derby win against West Coast, and I picked them at the right time. Obviously, if I was being realistic here, I would have gotten 8 out of 9, but I just really wanted North to win, considering I needed them to get off the bottom of the ladder, but it is impossible now for North Melbourne to do so. So, we are number 1 draft picks for the next year, but we are second on the ladder for the Wooden Spoon still by a fair margin. I thought we just tied St Kilda. Nope. Apparently St Kilda are just really far ahead in terms of Wooden Spoons. So
I mean, it's not good getting a bit closer to that number, but we'll see what happens in the future. Hopefully we can get a premiership soon enough with a good turnaround of players. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's getting close to the end. It's getting a little emotional, boys. But once this is over, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting as to what happens during the week now for content. What Teamcoach may do, because do they keep the site up until the end of the year? I know that once the round is over, this top team stuff will pretty much be useless. All the best and fairest cards will just be enjoyed for their regular value. Same goes with star powers and stuff like that. The gold wild cards, you can't use their codes after August 20th, which I will be making a reminder video about, just to let you guys know to submit your teams. But very, very interesting, man. Interesting for sure. Hopefully we get a bit more at the end of the year. Something nice to finish it all off would be really, really nice. But I don't think Teamcoach has done something like that before. So I think that may just be wishful thinking. So I appreciate all you guys who tuned into this video. If you do enjoy what you see, be sure to leave a like, comment down below any video ideas, suggestions, and constructive criticism, especially now that this series is starting to come to an end. But also subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.